Prepare to be grossed out. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. In my research about moving to the Netherlands, the subject of how food is different has come up. Obviously, food in the US can be a lot different than food in other countries. One of the unfortunate reasons is because of what our government allows food companies to sell us. Our food is packed with sugar and other chemicals, which makes them less desirable to people in other countries. Most people from other countries describe our bread as being more like cake. That's because US bread is packed with sugar. People from other countries describe Hershey's chocolate as tasting like vomit. That's because Hershey's chocolate has a chemical in it that isn't common outside of the US. I asked people to leave suggestions of food items that are common to the US that people in other countries find gross. The most common answer was something to do with fake cheese. Why is it not surprising that the US has its own cheese, American cheese, and it's the worst thing on the planet? So it's not surprising that many comments were cheese related, including American cheese, spray cheese, and mac and cheese. I have here some mac and cheese. I didn't get the entire box because I like to make my own mac and cheese from scratch. And I also have some spray cheese, which is an aerosol cheese that you can just spray right onto your food. Once it's made, it's a nice bright orange consistency, which is another problem a lot of people have with US food, our additives and our food colorings. It's also a very gooey consistency. It's not terrible. I've grown up my entire life eating this, but at this point in my life, I do prefer to make a mac and cheese from scratch with pasta and cheeses mixed in myself, and then possibly baked afterward to give it a nice crispy layer on top. Also here we have Easy Cheese made by Nabisco, which is an aerosol cheese that you spray right out of the can, like so. Ooh, and it is really not a good consistency. It's like slime that is bright orange, and it's terrible. This is actually the cheddar flavor, where there is an American cheese flavor. I'm not sure how much difference there is, but you get a cheddar flavoring. It's just not a good cheddar flavoring. Another common American food that seems to be disliked around the world is peanut butter and jelly. This is a very common sandwich in America, and I need to point out that in some places the word jelly actually means a gelatin-like product, and the jelly we're referring to is more like jam. I found a real treat for you guys, whereas in America, not only do we like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and peanut butter and jelly flavored everything, but we have jars where the peanut butter and jelly is already mixed together. This is a grape jelly with a peanut butter mixed together. I don't know if you can see that better, but this peanut butter is a little drier than the peanut butter I normally like for my sandwiches. But peanut butter and jelly is a staple American food, and I enjoy it. I think if it's made right, it's a good sandwich for anybody. The next item that seems to be pretty common is Hershey's chocolate. Now, I understand that Hershey's isn't the best quality chocolate in the world, but the dislike goes beyond that. People from other countries say that some American-made chocolate, most commonly Hershey's chocolate in particular, tastes like vomit, and there's actually a reason for that. It's because the product includes butyric acid, which is found in spoiled butter and also vomit. It gives the chocolate a bitter, spoiled taste that reminds people of being sick. Now, as a disclaimer, I will tell you that Hershey's denies that butyric acid is an ingredient in their chocolate, and it's not listed in the ingredients, but that doesn't mean the chemical is not found in the chocolate coming from other ingredients. Food scientists believe that even if Hershey's isn't deliberately adding butyric acid to their chocolate, it's still coming from the milk fats they use. For some reason, Americans aren't as sensitive to the taste. Maybe we're just used to it, but since the quality of chocolate in most European countries is so much higher, Europeans taste the sour chemical immediately. If I do eat chocolate, I rarely just eat a plain Hershey bar. I prefer a better chocolate, which I assume everybody does. Even if I try to taste a bitter sourness, I can't. It just tastes like plain chocolate. Not great, not terrible, but again, I'm used to it. Is there butyric acid in other American foods making us less susceptible to tasting it in this chocolate? I don't know. The next suggestion I've brought into microwavable food. TV dinners was suggested, as well as Hot Pockets, and for your viewing pleasure, I got this microwavable breakfast sandwich. It's supposed to be egg whites, cheese, and turkey sausage on a ciabatta roll. The egg whites is literally a puck of some sort of white egg product. This is very common to the US, to just have an entire food product like a burrito, a pizza, a hamburger, or even lasagna be able to be put in the microwave and heated up. Convenience has definitely taken priority here over quality. Now I've cooked these to the specifications on the packaging, which usually means the very outside edge will be blazing hot and the very inside will be ice cold. The Hot Pocket is pretty good. It's hot inside. You can see there's the bright orange cheese that we seem to love here in the United States. This is ham and cheese. It's not terrible. It's extremely salty. Food in the United States is either packed with sugar or packed with salt. These kind of convenience meals have to be packed with salt to hide the lack of quality, I think. This is the breakfast sandwich with the turkey, sausage, and the egg. And of course, again, the bright orange American cheese. And yeah, the inside is ice cold. The very outside edge seems to be okay. It's surprisingly not bad. The bread is actually soft and the sausage has a decent flavor. Again, it's a little salty, but for what it is, it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. I would actually rather eat this than the Hot Pocket. That most likely says a lot to what I've been conditioned to like in the United States. Someone suggested spicy pickles in plastic containers, and they were talking about this. If you go to a gas station or convenience store, you can usually find these pickles in a plastic bag. They have spicy flavored ones, but I didn't get one of those because I actually tried one the day before the person made that comment, and it was terrible. At least this one just tastes like a pickle. I mean, it's just a pickle outside of the fact that it's a wasteful plastic bag. It's a pickle. I tend to like my pickles smaller because I like a crunchier pickle, and I feel like the more skin to inside ratio makes it crunchier, but yeah, there you go. Pickle in a bag. Speaking of too big, people suggested large drinks, and they were talking about this. This isn't even the biggest drink you can get. It was just the biggest cup they had available at the store I went to. Another thing about our drink sizes is that every fast food restaurant has larger sizes across the board. Like a small beverage at an American restaurant is bigger than the largest beverage in other countries. Don't worry, it's lemon sparkling water. One thing that was suggested that I couldn't find was a whole cooked chicken in a can. You used to be able to buy a can that had an entire small chicken shoved into it. For a long time, you could find it in the grocery store near the canned tuna fish, but it apparently is no longer being made. It was made by a company called Sweet Sue, and they still sell canned chicken meat, but you can't get a whole chicken in a can anymore. I did find this chicken spread, which I will try for you. I don't think canned meats are uncommon in other countries, but this seemed particularly gross. Oh my god. Oh my god. This looks quite awful. It is like pureed chicken. It's fully cooked, so you can eat it right out of the can. Ah. It's as bad as you think. It's like a chicken-flavored grainy mess. It is truly awful. I'm glad I have this huge beverage. Next on the list is beef jerky. I personally love beef jerky and have spent time making it myself. People say it's like chewing on leather, which I can understand, but good beef jerky shouldn't be that tough. There are a few brands that I like that have some tender jerky. There's also turkey jerky, but I find it tends to be grainy, so I generally stick to beef jerky. This is a very tender piece of beef jerky. It's got good flavor. Generally, beef jerky like this has a bunch of extra salt and sugar in it. So when I make my own, I'm able to control the amount of sugar and salt that's in it, which is hard. It can get bland if you don't add enough seasoning. But this jerky is good, and it's very tender. I don't feel like I'm chewing on leather at all. I feel like if you get a good quality beef jerky, you won't have that problem. Our sweet snacks don't get much love from other countries either. Pop-Tarts get suggested a lot, as well as Hostess products, specifically As an adult, I'm not sure how I feel about Pop-Tarts. I ate them a lot more when I was younger, so I'm used to the flavor. They don't taste gross to me, probably because I'm used to them. People eat them both toasted and cold, and when they're cold, to me, they're a little dry. But when you toast them, they seem to have a weird aftertaste, at least to me. The fact that people don't like these makes perfect sense. The cake is dense in a weird way, and also kind of greasy, and the cream inside is overly sweet. My wife hates these. I used to eat them more often when I was younger. Of course, now I'm trying to eat better, so I don't eat them as often, and now that I've tried one without having one for a while, I do get it. It's very odd and not great, but for some reason, people in America love them. The last thing I'm bringing you, I added myself, but it's the fact that we have candy-flavored everything. This is an energy drink that's flavored like the candy Swedish Fish. And this is a Pepsi that they brought out for Halloween that's flavored like Peeps. Now, Peeps was already suggested. I think it's like the Twinkies, where the marshmallow's a little stale, it's coated with a weird sugar, and a lot of people outside the US don't like them. Pepsi decided to flavor their Pepsi like Peeps. And I'm not going to try this for a reason. I already did. I have this can, which I didn't realize I still had because I got a few during Easter time for my family to try. It was god-awful, and I threw a couple extra cans that I had on top of my garage fridge and forgot about it. When I was talking about making this episode, one of my kids went into the garage and came back with this. And so I can show you guys this awful product that should have never been made because it's an abomination to humanity. This is supposed to taste like Swedish Fish. As far as candies go, I do like Swedish Fish, and I've had some. I know what they taste like. It is amazing how much this actually tastes like Swedish Fish, but do I need to drink Swedish Fish is the question, and to me the answer is no. Just yesterday, I was at the grocery store and I saw something that I regret buying now, but we have popcorn that's flavored like Snickers candy or Reese's candy. Not only do we have cookies and Pop-Tarts that are flavored like candy items or energy drinks that are flavored like candy items, there are things that are bad for you in the first place. But we've taken things that are as simple as popcorn and decided to cover them with candy. I think there's a huge sugar addiction going on in the country. It roots all the way back to the 60s, where the sugar industry decided that they were going to put forward a campaign to make people believe that fat was bad and sugar was fine. The fact that all of our food is sickeningly sweet and filled with sugar is not a coincidence, and it's made it so we're so used to the sweetness that it has to be packed with sugar or else we think it doesn't taste good anymore. It's unfortunate, and it just makes it harder for people who want to be healthy to stay healthy. Not even people who are overweight. People who aren't overweight are still trying to eat healthy, and they're being lied to on packaging. They're being manipulated into believing that fat is bad and sugar is good, and all these things that feel like are going to be a benefit to us once we are able to move out of this country. Thanks so much to everyone who's come and watched my videos. If you have any questions for me personally or about our move to the Netherlands, you can leave them in the comments. Thanks again, and be safe.